Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Steve Natto, and for today's video, we are diving into the sneaker market to see, is there some potential to make money off of sneakers as investments? Can we look at sneakers as stocks? Which sneakers are trending up? Which sneakers are trending down? Which are good long term? Which are good short term? These are all great questions, which I have a lot of opinions on for the recent releases that have come out, over the past few weeks, past few months in 2020 here. I want to break these down, be your stockbroker for sneakers, and talk through my opinions and thoughts, as well as chat with you guys in the comments about what is going on with these releases. So if you guys enjoyed the video today and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as hit that notification bell to be alerted as soon as I drop new videos. But for today, like I said, we're just going to walk through a handful of new releases. I'll start going, giving you guys my opinions and thoughts on where these sneakers fall in the market, see if there's a long-term potential, short-term potential, if they're trending up, trending down, whatever it might be. I want to break down these new releases and talk through it with you guys here. So if you have any questions along the way, leave those in the comments down below and let me know some sneakers you want my opinions on for a future video, maybe next week, next month, whatever it might be. Leave those in the comments down below. But for now, let's go and start checking out the sneakers for this breakdown of sneaker investments in the sneaker market. So let's go. All right, so here we go. I just have pulled up StockX here. It's just an easy website, easy marketplace to take a look at a lot of different sizes to compare prices and start taking a look. So the first shoe I have up here is the brand new Yeezy Slide in the core colorway. So these just dropped a few days ago in really, really limited supply online. And obviously the retail price at 55 bucks, these are close to 200 bucks across the board, which seems extremely high, but it's actually not when you compare the other prices of previous Yeezy Slides. First off, to backtrack a little bit, Yeezy Slides were chilling on Yeezy Supply for months at that retail price of 55 bucks. Nobody wanted these things months ago, maybe even last year. I forget when they first exactly came out, but now they're astronomical prices, and I think it's really only maybe the beginning to see how high they can go. Other colorways are up to 300 plus in some sizes on some marketplaces. So this might be a good long-term investment, although it is getting close to the end of the summer. So it's tough to say. I don't know if people want slides a little bit more in the summer rather than in other months, but regardless, I think some potential there and just crazy to see for the Yeezy Slides. Like I said, retail 55, resale 200 plus. Next up, I have the Yeezy Quantum up here, which just had the re-release a couple days ago and originally came out over All-Star Weekend in Chicago. I was actually able to grab a pair in Chicago, and at that time, the price on those things was, 7, 8, 900, $1,000, depending on where and when you could sell. These things completely dropped in price so much with this restock. It seemed to be still pretty limited too. It was really limited to Adidas, Yeezy Supply, and boutiques, and now these things are around 400 bucks a piece on StockX. So price dropped significantly on these. I really don't see them going back up anytime too soon. If anything, maybe trending a little bit further down. I don't think there's a ton of demand on this silhouette just because it's nice. We saw the bariums too. It's a cool shoe. It's not super wearable, and I don't think it's one that people need when they think about Yeezys. I think people much prefer the 350s at this point or other Yeezy models. So I don't see this going up or down a ton too much right now. I'd say it's kind of a sleeper at the moment, but probably not a great long-term investment either, but kind of to be seen at this point. Next up, we have another Adidas shoe. This is the Yeezy 350 Israfil. These just dropped pretty recently as well. These things really dropped in price after the drop. There were what seemed to be a lot more pairs online than what people expected. Regardless, men's sizes are down to like 260, 270, which if you're selling on StockX gets you really no profit at all. So these things are about as low as they can get, oddly enough. I think these could be a good longer term investment. If you look at any pretty much Yeezy 350 over time, just over time, they tend to trend up. These ones may take a little bit. It's a decent colorway. It's a nice shoe. I do like the new lacing system that I mentioned in my review. I think this is like a super long-term investment if you felt like doing that, but I think there's probably other things that are better. I don't see these moving up too much anytime too soon because it did seem like there were a lot of pairs out there. So I think this is pretty much the bottom as where it could get, in terms of how low it could get. So if you're looking to buy it, and now might be a decent time, but I don't see them trending up too much. Next up, we have the recently released Tokyo Biohack 1s. These things were super nice, really weird and interesting shoe, but honestly pretty cool at the end of the day when you kind of tie it all together. These things I think are another interesting investment because, ones typically tend to do well over time. These odd colorways are a little bit harder to kind of predict, but in terms of where they trended in price kind of up to the release and after the release, they stayed really right around this $300 mark. So I really don't see these shooting up anytime too soon. I think they will over time, again, gradually, kind of similar to other Jordan 1s. But I don't think this colorway is anything people are really going to demand too much anytime too soon in particular. But I think over time they would trend up. If anything, for now, might be going down a little bit more as people tend to get their more pairs in. But I think this is sort of a sleeper. I think we got to wait on it to see some more information. as we keep moving further, we have these new Dunk highs that just dropped the other day. I wanted to pull these out because these things are just a crazy case study to really take a look at. For instance, these things are right around 400, 450, 500 bucks per size, and it's an okay looking dunk. It's not great. It's really just fine. If this thing released even a few years ago, it would probably just be sitting on shelves and be nothing important. The bids on this thing are well over 400 bucks. People really, really want these things. People really want dunks right now, and dunks are hot. Dunks are crazy right now in the market, and I don't know how high these can get, but this one seems a little strange to me. I'm staying away from it. I don't want to even look at this thing because it's just so strange to me that people are really paying this $400 price point, but could be a good investment. Also could come down a little bit. It's really tough to say. I think this SB is an interesting case to say the least, but one to keep an eye on. Another SB release, which I think is even more interesting and even more crazy in terms of price, is this Chicago J-Pack. So this thing has bids of over 600 bucks. These things haven't even dropped in the US yet and are really only available maybe in Europe or worldwide. I just know they haven't dropped in the US, and people are really paying 600 plus for this thing right now. This is absolutely crazy to me. It's a good colorway, no doubt. Chicago is great right now. Chicago's doing a lot with, what we saw for The Last Dance and everything going on. Very popular right now, but does this demand a $600 price point? I think no. I think this is all super hype driven. Not to say that it won't go up higher or even come down a little bit, but this one kills me. I think this is just interesting though. If you're playing the dunk hype, this could be good to continue on throughout the rest of the year, but I really don't know. I think this was just a good use case to look at too, to just see how nuts dunks are right now. And the certain colorways do really well. Other ones kind of flatline, but this one is very, very good. It's the Chicago colorway. I think it's got a lot of eyes on it, and I'll be interested to see what happens after the US release. And next up, we have the smoke gray mids, the Dior mids, as people have kind of dubbed them at this point. These have been straight up throughout the rest of this year. They have been going up so much in price. These small sizes are nuts to look at. The 7.5 at over 300 bucks on StockX here. Bigger sizes are kind of trailing, but the overall trend is that these things are just going straight up. I don't know how high they can get, but they are certainly trending up for right now. If you have any pairs, definitely look to sell them now if you want to cash out. Maybe keep holding to get a higher dollar at that point, but these things have just gone straight up. There were, pairs available earlier in the year that were even sitting at some points, and these things the demand caught up to them and shot through the roof. So absolutely crazy to see. I think these things are going to continue to trend up, at least for the next few months. I don't know how high they could get again, but a really good one there and super interesting to look at. The final one I wanted to take a look at was the Union Jordan 4s. These things released in extremely limited fashion from Union and started out at, over $1,000 around for most of the prices. This one I wanted to end on because this is one that I think is going to trend down before it does go up. These things, crazy shoe. I really wanted to check these out in hand. I missed out on them, so I wasn't able to, but I think this is a shoe that has a lot of appeal to a lot of people who want to check out this limited sneaker. The interesting part with the tongue down and everything going on with the shoe was really, really cool. But I don't think it's a shoe that people need. I think the price was kind of driven by the hype and how limited it was. And I think as people start to get more and more pairs in hand, those prices are going to come down as demand kind of actually meets the supply. So I think these are going to continue to come down a little bit before they kind of flatline, and then maybe super long term they start to trend back up again. But for now, I think they're going down. I don't know what the bottom could be, but I feel like 1,000 is a bit too high for these things. I think they should get down, a little bit lower, a couple $100 lower, and are definitely trending down for the time being. So that's pretty much all I had in terms of some of the shoes. I just wanted to run through some of these and give you guys my thoughts and opinions on what I think about these shoes. Some of these are investments for short-term, long-term, but I wanted to get some food for thought for you guys to see what you guys think. Leave any comments down below about what you think about these shoes, or if there are any others you want me to talk about. Haven't decided how often I'll make these videos, but am excited to start talking sneaker stocks, as I'll call them, with you guys here on YouTube. So leave those comments down below. And again, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this. But other than that, I think we'll cut the video here. So I want to thank you all for stopping by the channel. I really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys again real soon on the next video.